Good morning, everyone. We're going to be playing with the kind of upper back, upper shoulders today, and you definitely want at least one block, preferably two. You want your strap, and you're going to want a blanket and or a small towel, and that's for cushion more than anything. And we're going to kind of get up and down a couple of times this morning as we work with the blocks. We're going to be using the blocks for a little bit of pressure point work along the neck and under the arms. So it can get tender, right? So I'll say that now. It can get tender as we work with some of this. If you know right off the bat that something we're doing is either counterintuitive or counterproductive for your body. You've got neck stuff that I don't know about, or lymph node stuff that I don't know about, then honor that process and I'll give you lots of options. Okay, so now with that scary tactic, right? Like people are going to check out early. Come on down to your backs. Goodness gracious. And just lay on your back. Maybe your knees are bent, your feet are on the floor. I've been preferring the feet on the floor lately to the straight legs, just to give our backs a chance to settle in into the floor and all of that. So start a leg on your back. Maybe the feet are out wide, maybe the knees are in towards center. Your hands are resting on your belly. The back of the neck is long. So, right, if you know that you tend to round a lot in the upper back and you feel like your head is dropped and your chin is lifted, maybe a little bit of that blanket under your head for now, just so we can have that nice long spine, that nice alignment. And then spread out the sides of the shoulders so that the back gets wider. Feel the arch in your lower back, not too big, not flat, just a nice normal arch. And start to find your breath. Breathing in through your nose. And exhaling out through your mouth. Good, and again, inhaling deep. And exhaling out. Good, one more maybe. And exhale. And then just place your right arm straight down alongside your hip with your palm face down. And as you inhale, take the arm up to the ceiling. And as you exhale, let it go all the way back behind you, as straight as the arm can be. Don't overreach it. Just let it be normal, natural. And then inhale up. Exhale it back down. Good. 4 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale it up. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale it. Inhale up. Exhale it down. Good. Inhale up. Exhale it back and behind you, and then just pause for a moment here. The arm is extended overhead. It's resting on the floor behind you. If your arm is hovering, if it isn't touching the floor, if your hand isn't touching the floor, then bend the elbow out until you get some solid contact. I don't want you to just hang in the joint here. And then with your right hand overhead, just turn your head to the left. Your left shoulder is soft. It's down away from your ear. You're just turning your head to the left, getting a little bit of a stretch here. Find your breath. And then take the head to center. Release that arm down beside you again. And let's go to the other side, left side, palm is face down. Inhale it up. Exhale it behind you. Inhale up. Exhale it down. Inhale up. Exhale down and back. Good. Take it up. Exhale. We've got 2 more. Take it up. Exhale behind you. Inhale up. And all the way down. Good. This time we hold. Inhale it up. Exhale it back and behind you. Let it rest. Remember to make contact. So bend the elbows as much as you need to. And then turn your head over to the right. And just pause. Just see how that feels for you. Using your breath. That's it. And then take the head to center. Inhale that arm up. Exhale, release it back down. Good. Both arms up. Reach up. Take it back behind you. This time you can reach some. So extend out as much as those arms will allow you to. Inhale it up. Exhale back to the floor. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, reach the arms back behind you. Hold this time and straighten the legs. And then arch through your back and really stretch the front body. Reach your feet away from your hands. Just stretch your whole body, front body, back body. And then in this position, feet are flexed. I want you to press your back toward the floor. It may not go all the way. Inhale, release it. Go ahead and arch. Exhale, press that mid body down, 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 down to the floor. Good. One more. Inhale, arch. Exhale, press down. Release to your natural curve. Bend your knees, feet back to the floor. Release your arms all the way down. Bring your left knee to chest. Straighten your right leg. Hands go behind your knee. Straighten your left foot or your left leg up to the ceiling and point your toes. Good. Breathe, everybody. And then flex and point. And point. Good. One more. Flex, point, draw the knee to chest, stretch one leg away from the other, and switch. Bring your right knee to your chest, hold behind your knee, stretch the right or the left leg out nice and long, and then take the right leg up to the ceiling and point, flex, point, and flex. Good. A couple more. Point and flex. Really extend. Bring that knee back to your chest and release both. Good. And then bend your knees. Oh, and place your feet on the floor. Grab one of your blocks. So it might be a little bit tricky at first. So you're going to take the block at its second level. And I realize I wore a shirt that's the same color. That could be a problem. The block is the second level, if it's okay for you. And you're going to take it behind your neck so that the inner line of that block, you got to hold the block. I'm sorry, hold the block. It's tilted away from you. And the inner edge of the block is right along the edge of your skull, right? So it's way down here where the skull meets the neck. It's pressing gently into that occiput area, right? That base of the skull where we carry so much tension. So I like to I'm going to scoot away from the wall a little bit. I kind of like to hold the block just from a safety standpoint. You're trying to find that little baby edge. Take the moment to find it, and then just pause. And if you're like me, this is really tense. Don't dig into it. Don't press into it. The weight of your head in this angle is plenty enough tension. If it is really yucky, like you don't like this at all, one, take your towel, your blanket over the edge of it so that it is a little bit more cushioned. And then the second option is going to be to lower all the way down and keep more of a flat neck where you're not working on the edge. Okay. So you find that you're pausing here. If you feel like your block is pretty secure, it's not going to tip, maybe you take the hands down. And then as you tuck your chin a little bit, don't tuck too much, you're going to feel a stretch in this area. And just take a few deep breaths. That's it, a couple more here. This area gets super, super tight from all of our activities all day long. A lot of my headaches come from this area. Good. And then don't tuck the chin as much. Come a little bit more neutral. Maybe hang on to that block a little bit. And then just turn your head toward the right side. You're going to find a really tender spot on that right side, not all the way to the side of the neck, but just at that corner where the skull bone kind of goes around and starts to wrap up toward the ear. And you can go as deep or as light as you want. If this is too much, just don't do it. Don't worry about it. You can use your fingers here too, by the way, right? No block, just kind of get fingertips into there. Find a deep breath, no tingling, no numbness, right? If you're there, you're hitting on the nerve or something, there shouldn't be anything in this area. You can do a gentle rock side to side on that right. We're not going to be here too much longer, I promise. And then go back to center, go over to the left. Find maybe that tender spot. You can just pause here. So I've been watching the work of a couple of teachers who are working with myofascial release, whether it's tennis balls or foam rollers or blocks. And it's got some value here as long as we don't overdo it, right? So we don't want to overdo these things. And then bring your head back to center. Take one hand behind your neck just to support your head. And then lengthen your head down and back to the mat and pause. And then turn your head side to side. That's it. Good. Bring your knees to your chest. Roll over to one side. Come on up. And then we're going to do one more with the blocks before we move on. So you're going to take both of your blocks at the lowest level. And again, this might be a spot where you take your blanket or a little towel and just put it over the far edge of that upper block. The lower block is going to be adjustable, and it's usually going to sit around the sacrum. So if you want, you can hold on to the first one, come on down to the second one, and walk yourself up so that that very same spot is tucked or under the or around that block. Now, again, be careful here. There are some folks that can get dizzy. If you start to feel the slightest bit dizzy, come on out of this and let your head stay flat. But you're resting that short edge of your block along that same occipital line. And your second block, I like it down at the sacrum. It feels really supported here. Now, I'm not dropping my head all the way back. I'm just resting it on that same ridge line and feeling that. All right, so we start here. Just get a sense of it. How does it feel? If you're feeling it all dizzy, then start to level out the head. Don't roll the eyes back. Keep them pointing up toward the ceiling. And then from here, I just want you to slide down the block so that you're actually sliding your head up the block, if that makes sense. So you're going from that short edge ridge up to the center of the back of your head. So you're going back. And so this is like a little baby massage for this super tight area. I hope it's making sense to you since I can't see you, but it's like you're rubbing this area from the base of the skull up into about center of your skull. And you don't have to go deep, right? And then just a slight turn of the head to the right. So you're getting that right side edge. And a slight turn to the left. And breathe. That's it. And then take it back to center. Just pause. Maybe the arms are out at the side, your shoulder blades on either side of the block. If it is okay for you, you can drop the head back a little bit more. Make sure your neck and upper back are fully supported. Big deep breath. And then lift your hip, take the block out from your sacrum. As you slide the block or the head back down that block, come all the way down, all the way down. And as you remove the block, support your head with your hand and come on down. Whew. And turn your head side to side. Good. Head is neutral, knees to chest, roll to one side. Come on up. I wish I could see your faces to know how intense or not intense that was for you. So pause for a moment. We're just going to sit, roll the shoulders. You might notice that there's a lot more movement in the head neck. You might notice that, not really. It still feels pretty stiff. Take the arms out to the sides. Now you're going to take your left arm and internally rotate it, right? So that shoulder's going to roll forward. You're going to take your right side arm and externally rotate it. So this is where we start. You're just going to internal, external rotate opposite arms, okay? And feel that. So you're going to feel one shoulder roll forward, the other one roll forward. All right, now here's where it gets interesting. I want you to turn the head slowly and look from side to side. Yep, just breathe. If it's hard to hold the arms up at shoulder level, just lower them down a little bit, okay? So we don't want those shoulders tense as we're doing this work. Keep going, see where that rotation is going. One more. And let go. Whew. Good, shake it out. Grab one block. It's going to be up at the second level. And this is where I would probably recommend a blanket or a towel. You're going to take just a little bit of that blanket over the edge of the block, just because you love yourself and you don't want that much intensity, okay? And then you're going to lay over the block. I'm on my right side. You're going to lay over this block right at your armpit. You know I love you, everybody, so hang in there with me. You're going to lay on that armpit, and then you're going to lengthen your waist. So you've got a bit of tension on that armpit. Again, be mindful if this is not appropriate for you, don't do it. So you're going to start by just kind of, if you can, allow your body weight to drop into the block. So much of the tension of these upper shoulders, right? It's not just the shoulder muscles, although these are considered part of the shoulder muscles, especially in the back. We have all of this tension in other places, and we wonder why our shoulders and our necks feel so tight all the time. So if it is okay for you, you are just leaning into this block. You control the weight, right? That front hand can press you away. You can bring your elbow up higher. Some of you might like dropping your head. I don't care for that one too much. The teacher I learned this from suggested dropping the head. That doesn't really feel good for me. So you can try that and see. All right, so once you've gotten comfortable with this idea, I just want you to roll forward and roll back. Whoop. Make sure you're in the center of your block. Roll forward and back. Good. And you can release the hand from the head if your head feels okay. You can look down as you roll forward and kind of look up, but don't do a big twist to the neck. And just start to feel both the back, right? The part of the shoulder complex, but also latissimus dorsi, right? That big wide back muscle, right back there. Maybe forward into the chest a little bit and breathe. And then find your tender spot. For me, it's more in the back. I'm going to re-support my head so that the muscles can relax there. And I'm just going to kind of trigger point those muscles that for me are right at the back of that armpit where the big wide muscle comes in the side back. And breathe, everybody. You can play, see how it feels for you. And then roll forward. Let your chin rest on your block. Breathe. Good. Roll back on your side body. Press all the way up. Good. And switch sides, everyone. So you're taking the same block. Now, if that was like no big deal for you and you want to go off blanket, go for it. When I played with this, I was not using a blanket. And it feels good in that, that kind of owie good feeling. But it's up to you. Today I'm being a little more gentle, so I'm going to stay with the block. And you'll notice one side different than the other side. So again, support your head, your knees are softly bent. Oh yeah. So start in the middle. I already know this left side is tender. Start in the middle and just hang out. Try to lengthen the waist here so you've got a little bit of tension on the block, and then just pause for a second here. Take a few deep breaths. Just notice, notice, notice. And then for you, start that forward, back, forward roll. Oh yeah. Especially if you do a lot of plank or chaturanga, push-ups, right? Back of that side body can get really tender. All right, find your tight spot, everybody. Ooh, breathe. Don't let the head hang too heavy. It should be supported either with your hand or with your upper shoulder. And breathe. Oh yeah. That's it. Kind of have to go to your happy place here if you've ever had a deep tissue massage. There's that point at which it's deep, it's kind of a good hurt, and then it's to the point where it's so deep that you're tensing. I don't want that part. I want you to get to the point where it's kind of a deep, okay, I can hang out here for a little bit and see if I can break up some of that muscle. All right, and then lean forward. You can rest your chin on the block. You can stretch out that left hand. Find your breath, everybody. And release, come back to center, push up and let go. Ooh, yeah, that's a beauty. That's a beauty. Good. And then just come to an easy seat, legs crossed or not, and roll your shoulders out. Whew. And inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take your right hand to the floor, stretch out your left side, really stretch, and then reach over the right knee. Inhale, center, take it all the way back at a diagonal, come into a twist. Your right hand comes to your left knee, keep the shoulders wide, and then turn head from one shoulder to the other shoulder. Easy, easy. Good, one more. Look back over your right shoulder. Take your left hand, cross it over your right. So you're crossing elbow over elbow. If your legs are not crossed, this might be a little more challenging. Bend your elbows and maybe come on down, tuck your chin, stretching out that back shoulder. If you are not if you're not cross-legged and this is really hard, you can do eagle arms. Good, come on up. And release. Whoo, yeah, good. Other side. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left hand down, right arm reaches over. Find your breath, everybody. Press down through that right hip as the right arm reaches. Take it over the left knee. Breathe. And then inhale straight up and back at a diagonal. Good. Open up the shoulders and then take your left hand to the right knee. And once again, just turn the head one shoulder to the other shoulder, getting some range of motion in the neck. Look back over your right shoulder. Take the right hand, lift it up, bring it up in front of the other hand. You're now elbow to elbow. Bend your elbows down toward the floor. Tuck your chin. And breathe. And then release and just come on up. Good. Shake it out, everybody. All right, let's get ourselves moving. I got to take my socks off. I can't do socks on a yoga mat. It just doesn't work for me. All right, so we're back at the front of our mats. You won't need your blanket or anything. If you want your a blanket for your knees, go ahead and do that. That's totally appropriate. We're going to be here just for a little bit. So if you want extra cushion, go there. And then start with a nice cat pose, just really round. And if it is okay for your knees, keep that rounded position and then stretch the heels back or the hips back to your heels. And then keep that rounded position, come back up and take it into cow. And breathe. From cow position, see if you can take it back to the heels. Keep the position and go back to cat. Good, one more. Keep it tucked really tight. Stretch it back through the arms. Keep it rounded, take it up, go to cow pose. And reach back, you're looking up. And forward and release. Good. Take your left hand and give me a big circle. When I'm doing circles here, especially in table pose, I find it much easier to take the knees wide. So maybe you take them wide, circle one direction, and then circle the other direction. And the next time your hand is up to the ceiling, pause and just reach as high as that'll go. It might not be straight up. It might be more out to the side. Internally rotate your arm and reach that hand behind your back. See if you can find your opposite side waist. Easy on the head, neck. Make sure you're not lifting your chin. Keep it neutral. Good. Take that hand up to the ceiling. Exhale back down to the floor. Let's go to the other side. Right arm, big circles. That's it. Big, big, big circles. Circle the other way. Opening everything up. One more big circle. And then take that hand all the way up to the ceiling. Internal rotation. Reach behind your back. See if you can find the opposite side waist. Breathe. And release. Take it up back to the floor. Plant both of your hands. Flip your toes under and come to downward facing dog. First one. And start to shake it out. And even here in down dog, I want you to just check out the head, the neck. Are you tensing? Can you let the head rest between the arms? Good. Walk your hands all the way back. Bend the knees as much as you need to, hands to knees. Come to a level position with your head, neck, and chest, and come all the way up to standing and shake it out, everybody. All right, top layer off. So you're gonna want your strap. So grab a hold of your strap. We got a lot of little strap work to do. Good. All right, so I want you to take, if you've got a long strap, take your strap and turn it into half, or just, let it be halfway as long. So it's not as wide as it usually is for you. And then take it up to the ceiling. Ooh, my camera, where'd my camera go? Here it is. Take it up to the ceiling and just stretch it back. Just stretch back. You don't have to go super far. See if the elbows can stay straight, and then release it. Good. I'm going wide just so I stay within camera range. and down. So you can go wide or stand up tall. And then just see if your body will allow a little bit more movement. If the strap is too short, you need to go wider, right? Whew, good, one more. Just stretching through that tissue and release. Fold that strap in half again so that it's, I don't know, roughly shoulders width apart. You can see that. I want you to pull it out in front of you and create some tension, and then pull back like you're rowing, right? So pull in and out, circle in, circle in. Yep, I want you to feel the squeeze of the back body. Circle in and in. Yep, keep the elbows tucked when you bring it back, as if you were rowing a boat, right? With an oar in both hands. Good, go to the right, circle. So you're reaching that right or that left arm. Come back to the center. Yep, and go to the left. I know, weird stuff. I was bored this morning. And bring it center, whoo, and let it go. And feel that work. All right, so you're gonna go a little bit longer. For me, I had to go almost halfway between that tighter strap and the wider one. And then I want you to row through like you've got opposite oars. So I'm in wide stance. If you want to, go to wide stance and bend the knees. Let's get a little leg work in here. So you're rowing or swimming, right? Some of you I know are good swimmers. So you're like swimming through the ocean here. Woo. See if you can reverse. Keep a little tension on the strap. If it's too wide, it gets a little unwieldy, right? So just see what you can do. And let go. Woo. And shake it out, right? Feel that holy moly work. I know. All right, so last one with the strap. I want you to take the strap behind you. It's gonna, again, roughly, you're gonna figure out your length here as we go. So as you pull with your right hand, right arm straight out, your left one is going back behind you. And then switch. Yep, and switch. And switch. So I'm just kind of brushing my forearm across my back as I go. Again, doing some shoulder work and shoulder range of motion. Go, keep going. Last one. And relax, hold on for a second. Oh, I know. All right, so this time, strap is in my left hand. I'm gonna reach my right hand behind and hold on to it as if we were doing cow face arms. And we played with this one on Sunday if you were here. And it takes just a few times to get used to the idea. So I'm gonna straighten, so you gotta lengthen through your strap and straighten your top arm. So my left arm is tall, my right arm is back behind my back. If that doesn't feel good for you and you need to go longer, just go longer, okay? And then you're gonna switch. So as I bend my top arm, my bottom arm straightens. And then bend, top arm straight, bottom arm bent, and reverse, right? Bottom arm straight, top arm bent. Good, couple more. Up and down and up and down. Whew. Don't lift the chin. Down, up, down. Last one. Up and down. Whew. And shake it out. Woo, baby. All right, switch sides. So this time it's going to be your right arm up and your left arm down. Again, find the length so that when your top arm straightens, your bottom arm is bent to your comfort level. Okay, and then switch. So you're bending opposite arms. Yeah, I know. That's it. Keep it going. You're going, what's this got to do with yoga, right? Everything. Think of all the poses that have the arms either up overhead or behind your back. Good. One more. And release. Whew. And breathe. and let go. And then take that strap right in front of you. Take it a little bit wider, reach up. Good. It's right overhead. I want you to bend your knees and then bend your elbows back behind you so that the strap goes behind you. So a little weird kind of goddess pose. And the tendency is going to be want to wrap those hands forward. I want you to wrap the hands back. So shoulders wide open, elbows are kind of in line with the hips, right? And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, take it up. Exhale down and up. Take it down and go. 4 more after this. You don't have to go deep, by the way. I know I've got a couple of my knee folks out there. So just don't go so deep. A little bit of bend. It's mostly upper body today. And we got 1 left. Squeeze down, hold. Now I want you to wrap the strap around and press the shoulders or the arms against your strap. Big deep breath. And open and close. Open. Yep, keep the knees pointing back. Open, close. 4, 5 more. Feel your back body. Squeeze. 4, 3, yep. 2, and 1. Whoo, straighten the legs and shake it out, everybody. Drop your strap for now. Breathe. Come on to the front of your mat. I was making this the front of my mat for a change because I'm always on that end. Good. Roll your shoulders. Inhale, take it up. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Roll your shoulders back. Soften your knees and step back with your right leg. Blocks here are lovely. So if you want to take your hands to your blocks, go ahead and do that. The shoulders move away from the ears, but they don't over pull. So one of the things that I notice is when we take shoulders away from the ears, we can over pull them and create more tension. So find the middle space. Find that happy spot. Leave your right hand on your block. Take your left arm forward. Inhale it up to a nice lunge twist. Back leg strong, everybody. Reach it back behind you. Hold. Take it down to the floor. Reach up one more time. Nice twist. Reach it back behind you and release it down to your blocks. If your blocks are on lowest level and they're on your mat and they feel steady, go ahead and step back. Downward facing dog. Feel the shoulder work. And then step forward with your right foot. Find your pose, find your belly. Your left hand stays on your block. Your block can be higher, by the way. And then reach with your right arm, reach up, find your twist. And when you find your twist, notice if your back leg wants to twist with it. Keep it strong. And then reach back and circle forward. Reach up, reach back, and circle forward and release it. Good. Step back, downward facing dog. Pedal out those feet, everybody. Hands are on the floor, on your blocks, and step back to plank pose. And breathe. Press the heels back. Reach with the chest. Head is neutral. Belly is toned. Legs are working. Woo! Back to downward facing dog. Good job, everybody. Step forward, left leg. Good. And then move your blocks just out of the way so they don't create any problems. Shorten the pose a little bit. Hands come to knee. Lift your chest and inhale the arms up. Good. And then I want you to just reach forward and then reach back. You can pull back, and as you do, your front leg straightens. Reach forward, go slow, and pull back. Reach forward. Pull back gently. 2 more, reach and pull. Last one, reach and pull. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands down to the floor or to your blocks. Down dog on blocks can be kind of a nice little change. Step back and pause. Step forward, right leg. Blocks are probably not needed here. You can always stay low, you know that. Hands to knee. Press it up. Inhale it up. And then reach forward. Straighten the front leg as you reach back. Reach forward. And pull back. Forward. Back, 2 more. Reach. And pull. And forward. Last one. Pull it back. Bend your front knee. Reach up. And exhale. Hands come down to your blocks. Downward facing dog. Lower down to your knees, everybody. And come to a little child's pose. And breathe. All right, come on up. You can take your right foot forward, lift your left knee, walk yourself to a wide leg, forward fold. You can move your blocks out of the way if it's handy, otherwise we'll do it when we're standing. Bend your knees, hands to knees, and come on up. Shake it out. All right, so hopefully you're feeling like, nice and loose here. I want you to, we're gonna do a slight flow. It's a really simple one, but just make sure there's nothing like really close to your mat that you might trip on, and you won't. I'm being extra cautious today. Take your feet out wide, and your feet are pointed to where it's comfortable for you. And all I want to do for now is take your right arm and circle it forward, reach it up and down. Good, just a couple of these. Breathe. Maybe one more. And release it. Good, other side. Just reach it across and up. So a lot of times if we have shoulder issues, either injury or a frozen shoulder or a pinch here where the shoulder meets the humerus, the arm bone, it can be really hard to lift out and up like this. But if we come across the body, usually we can get the arms to extend up. All right, so we did both sides. This time, both arms in, open up and take it down. Good, squeeze. That's it, a few more. One more. And switch directions. If going out and up is bothersome for some reason, just go back the other way. Good, 2 more. That's it. And shake it out. All right, why was that important? We're gonna add in a warrior 2 pose, and we'll do it slower at first. So start by taking your right foot and pointing it straight ahead. Your back foot is pointed straight across the short edge of your mat. I always like the idea of maybe going slightly wider, so either heel to heel, maybe even wider for you. And let's just start with a good warrior 2 stance. So this back knee, right? We press the outer edge of the foot. So it's not about pressing the knee back, but pressing the outer foot, outer line of the foot, lifting that inner arch, right? There's our power in our back leg. Front leg is bent, belly is toned, tailbone is long, all the stuff you know. Watch the front knee. I know a couple of you, I got you in my head here, where that knee wants to curl in. You know who you are. I know who you are. So maybe take your outside left hand and just press it into the knee a little bit and feel that action, right? That's all that inner thigh stretch. And try to keep the knee pointing over the like 4th toe, right? Closer to the pinky than the big toe. All right. Roll the shoulders back, take the arms out. Warrior two. Super easy, basic pose. We do these a million times in a year. Here's where what we want to change. I want you to take the hands down, and as you do, pivot the front foot so that it's straight. Okay? And then pivot your right foot back out to warrior two. Notice if you curled in, right, as we switch. All right, arms down, pivot, arms up. As you take the arms back out, pivot again to your right. I realize I'm back and forth on my feet. Sorry about that. Inhale, down, pivot, and cross. Down we go, pivot, and cross. Couple more, pivot, and down, and pivot, and down. Whew. Good, hands to hips, all toes pointing forward, hinge from your hips, and come on down. And breathe. Press into your hands, bend the knees are pressing out, and come on up. Good. This time, right foot or your left foot forward, straight ahead, bend your knee. Reach into that inner arch, see if you can lift it away from the floor a little bit and take it into warrior two. Remember, the shoulders are wide open, but you're not arching or dumping your pelvis, right? You're keeping that nice integrity here. Here we go. So this time, reach up, pivot, reach down, and find warrior on the other side. Reach up and pivot, reach up and pivot. Now I'm going to let you go as fast or as slow as you want. It's almost like a little dance. And breathe. Whee! There's like, and you can just start to play, right? And release it, everybody. And shake it out. And inhale up again. Exhale all the way down. Keep your feet, your heels planted. Walk the fingertips forward. Isometrically drag the fingertips back. And find your pose. Walk your hands back. Heel toe your feet back to center. Bend your knees. Whew, and come up to standing. Go ahead, grab one of your blocks and place it long ways between the legs. Give that block a good squeeze. Let's just reset all of that. And then take your right hand, take it up overhead. Drape it over your head. And then slide down the left side of your leg. Breathe, everybody. And center. And release. Go to the other side. Your left arm goes up and then just drapes over the top, very top of your head. And then slide down the right leg. Breathe. And come on up. Good. Release your block. Come back to the front of your mat. Whew. Left leg forward, right foot back. Not a big step back this time. We're just going to add on a possibility. So remember earlier when we were reaching forward and then straightening the front leg as we came back. So do that a couple more times. But come more and more and more to the tippy toe of your back foot. And then consider lifting, whoop, right? And coming back. Consider lifting and coming back. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about form. Don't worry about the idea that this could be warrior 3. And then maybe at some point you reach forward and you see where that is. For me again, warrior 3, I like arms back version or arms to heart version. Just a little easier. Breathe and release. And it's not that we always want easier. For me, it's a stability thing. And I like that version. I like those versions better. So and it's easier. Switch sides. So right leg forward. And you don't have to lift all the way. You don't have to hold all the way. If we can find how to balance and find stability, right? Especially on one leg. We're doing so much good work for daily living. All right, here we go. Easy to start, right? We're just gonna reach and gentle pull back. And pull back. That's it. And then consider just a lift of the foot, right? So we weight that front leg more and more. And then maybe we slow it down, reach forward, see if we can lift. See if you want hands to heart. Woo. Breathe. And release. And shake it out. Good. Come on back to the front of your mat. Inhale it up. Exhale all the way down. Take the feet slightly wider on your yoga mat. Watch your backs here. You can always take hands to blocks for a little bit less. And then just pause. Just breathe. Walk the feet back to hips width. Plant your hands, step back to downward facing dog. Find your breath. Come to plank pose. Yep. Feel the work, everybody. Try not to lift the head, but also try not to drop the head. See if you can find neutral. For me, I tend to look at the front edge of my mat. Breathe, keep pressing, keep pressing, keep pressing. Lower your knees and come to child's pose. Relax your arms. Maybe you take the hands under the forehead. It's one of my favorites. Good. Everybody release. And come on down to your bellies. Moving my blocks, just getting them out of my way. And lay the head down. You know, hands to forehead is always nice and neutral. So start there. Press into your pubic bone, lift one leg. We've done this a zillion times now. A zillion. Breathe, just activating that glute, the back of the leg, stretching the hip extensor in the front. The leg is straight, the toes are pointed. And lower down. Good, other side. Lift the right leg, point the toes, just find that extension wherever it is for you, whether it's 1 inch or 5 inches. And lower down. Press into your pubic bone, see if both legs will lift. And release. And then bend both legs one at a time, but bend one knee and then the other. Squeeze it in. That's it. Activating the hamstrings as if they're not already. That's it. And then lower the legs down. Bend just your left leg. Now, again, for my knee folks, that might be as far as you go here. You're going to lengthen out your thigh. So from your hip bone to your knee, maybe lift and make it as long as possible, and then lower it back down. Come on up on your elbows. Okay, a little bit of back bend work here. See how that feels for you. So 1, you're going to stay here. 2, your right side, you're either on elbow or you're lifted. For most people, you've got to bring that hand forward at least a little bit. You're going to take your left arm, reach back. See if you can find your left foot. And breathe. Just notice. How's it feel on one side? And release it. Good. Other side, bend the knee. Pause. Lengthen that leg. Make it long. Either stay right here. 2, you can reach back. Maybe you can find a foot. Maybe not. Open up that shoulder. Maybe the elbow points toward the ceiling. And release. Lower down, everybody. I want you to curl your back and press your pubic bone in. Just a little low back release. Good. One more. Press into the pubic bone. Squeeze the belly in. And release. And then finally, if you want, you're bending both knees. Lengthen both thighs. Press your pubic bone in. Consider the possibility that you could find your feet. If you can't, maybe you're just pulling the shoulders away and reaching, right? This is a bunch of work for your back body. If you can find your feet, awesome. Press your hands into your feet. Press your feet away from you. And lift the chest any amount. Watch the head, neck. Breathe. And release. Oh. Shake it out, everyone. That's it. And then come on to your right side. And just pause. Once you've gotten your breath back, once your low back is settled back down, come on up to your elbow. And allow your shoulder to go up to your ear as you stretch your side body. And then press out and drop down again. Good. Press out and back down. One more. Press out and release down. And then come to a more neutral. Turn that same right hand straight out and then start to slide out, but make yourself long, like really resist. Lower your head to your arm, straighten your legs. Whew. Make a straight line from your ankles to your fingertips. It's oddly a balanced pose. And breathe. Whew. You can see, right? I'm like tilting forward and back. Maybe you can take your hand to your hip. If this is like impossible and you keep rolling backwards, bend your bottom knee. Bend your top knee. Holy moly. See if you can grab your foot or your ankle. Take the leg up. Whew. And breathe. You can also grab shin. You can grab behind your knee. See if you can stay on that side hip. And then bend your knee. Straighten yourself back down. Take your left hand and press up, press up, press up. Back to your elbow. Good. Bend both the knees. Press all the way up. Last one, last side. Here we go. You're down on your side, left side. Knees are bent. You're on your elbow. Whew. And then see if you can straighten the legs. Good. I think we did knees bent for this part, so sorry about that. So I want you to scrunch your shoulder to your ear and then lift out. Scrunch down and lift out. Last one. Scrunch and lift. Hold. Make the side body nice and long. Take your left hand and point it straight up to the end of your mat. And then make your body long. Long, 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 all the way. Slide down, let your head rest on your arm. Now straighten the legs. Try to stay on your side body. Imagine if you had a block behind you and in front of you, and every time you rolled forward or back, that block would be knocked over. Good. If you can, stay here. If you can, take your hands to your hip or hand to hip. Notice the difference. And then finally, if you can, you're going to bend your top leg. Woo. See if you can find a toe. See if you can straighten up. And then bend and let go. And then press up. Ooh, yeah, shake it out, everybody. All right, final one here. Come on down to your back. Take your right arm out to the side. Bring your knees to your chest and let your knees go to the right as well. So arm and knee. One, you're right here. This is a simple twist. Go easy. If you want to try a little bit more, you're going to start to roll onto your right side, and you're going to keep on rolling until your chest is headed toward the ground, right to the mat, and your face is headed toward the mat. And then you can straighten one or both legs and roll onto your belly. So it is a shoulder stretch. This arm is underneath. That might be just too intense for some people. If it is, don't do it. You can come at it any amount, right? You can come here, 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 or stay in twist. So don't overdo it. And release, come on out. Find your twist. And come on out of pose. Good. I'm just going to turn over since I don't have the wall room. Whew. Left arm is out. Knees toward chest. Roll the knees to the left. Start in a twist. Breathe. And again, up to you. You can start to roll over that left shoulder. You're rolling around the back of it. You're going to turn all the way onto your belly. And breathe. And then to come out, start to unroll. Bend your knees. Open up your chest. And come to center. All right, so final option here. We're getting close to Shavasana. One, I'm going to put my socks on so I don't get cold, but maybe you want your socks, your sweater, your blanket, any of that stuff. And we're going to use both blocks and our blanket. So grab your blocks. And for most people, your upper block is one level higher than your bottom block. So either you're at the lowest and the second, or if you're really expansive through your chest, you can go second and high. For most of us, and honestly for end of class, I would go to low and medium. I would go to low and medium. And then take your blanket and lay it over your bottom block. If you have the blanket long like this, that can be kind of nice too, but it's just over that bottom block. And then when you lay down, you're going to find roughly the bottom tip of your shoulder blades. And then you're going to use your hands to place your block under your head. So we're not looking for the head to be dropped. We really want the head to be pretty neutral. And then lengthen your spine. If your blanket is long, you can take it and just kind of wrap it around your chest, which feels kind of yummy. A little papoose here. And then straighten the legs, the arms are down at the sides. And this is a relatively passive chest opener. It's just a lovely restorative pose. If you're here and you feel your low back for some reason, then bend the knees and keep the back longer. If you feel like your chin is down in your chest, then I would lower the block and let there be more space behind between your chin and your shoulder blades. So you decide, you figure it out, but it's not supposed to be a challenge, right? This should feel good, and the blanket over the block softens that. If it's too much, I would just take a little blanket roll under your shoulder blades and go with that softer version. But then just find your breath. Close your eyes if you're comfortable here. If you have the room, the arms can go all the way out to your sides, out from the shoulders, just softening and opening that chest. And feel your breath and feel the block under your shoulder blades as you breathe. Just feel the solidity of that support. Maybe there's a soft smile on your face. Maybe each time we do these chest opening, shoulder strengthening practices, you notice that you are more willing to put yourself out there in the world just as you are, not as anybody else, just as you are. So this pose is going to morph into our Shavasana. So if you are loving this and enjoying this and can stay here for another 3 or 4 minutes, then I would stay. And if not, then I would bend the knees, remove the block from your head, but support your head. Roll to one side, take that lovely second block out, and then roll all the way back onto your back. You're still wrapped up in your blanket here. The back of the neck is nice and long. And you come into Shavasana. Notice your breath. Notice your thoughts. Can you be at peace with your body? Can you be at peace with whatever you might be going through right now? If you are still using your blocks, maybe you take a moment now to come off the blocks and take that final 1 or 2 minutes in Shavasana so that your spine is fully aligned here. See if you can soften just a little bit more, just a little more. And for those of you ready to come on out, start to wiggle your toes and your fingers. If you are still on your blocks, please be very mindful as you support your head, removing one block and then rolling to one side to remove the other. And then everyone bringing knees to chest. Rock to the side. Pausing there and then slowly but surely coming all the way up to your seated pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Bow to your own inner goodness, inner wisdom, inner voice. Be who you are and celebrate that. Namaste.